Welcome back to beautiful Bombo Beach, the site of the Jeep World Junior Championships for 2017. It's January 7th, 2018, and 8:51 local time. We're into round number 2 of the men. Heat number 4. Out in the red jersey, we have John Mel from Santa Cruz, California, and in the blue jersey, we have Keanu Kamiyama, coming out of the Osaka prefecture over there at the land of the rising sun, Japan. While we were away, we had a couple of rides.
Keanu getting a nice little left. Replay of one straight off the hooter. Siren.
He's probably 6'2". Here he is. John Mel, Santa Cruz, California, moving his way down the line. Great goofy foot surfer, and just can't hang on to that closing maneuver.
Sometimes when your board's that fast, you got to slow it down a little bit and not, you know, take it to the red line all the time. Here we go. John getting great speed here. Feel that that turn there should have been done a little bit earlier, and he would have got more than a 3.3 that the judges rewarded.
And in that heat, were you looking over your shoulder when Reef got that last wave? He did a pretty sick air reverse.
Yeah, I definitely was. I was pretty afraid he was going to get it. It was a pretty sick air, so props to him for that air for sure.
And another big wave exploit from some of our juniors as we stay in social here. Check out John Mel on Instagram at Mavericks, and John Mel live action at a small Bombo left. So what a dramatic contrast there. John unable to finish that final maneuver, and that would have been...
Keanu being very patient, one wave in the early seconds of the event, of the heat, sorry. And here he goes.
Here we go, Keanu. Nice snap off the top and vert. Just 12 o'clock lunchtime on that closing maneuver. I continue to study it as well. Here we go. John Mel. Again, just not the John Mel I've been seeing in the warm-up surfs right now with the jersey on.
6.0 extending his lead. There's some great turns on that, but this is live action.
Kamiyama up again. He just got a 6-point ride on his last wave, and again, utilizing that backhand and the leverage to get the board straight up behind his back. Oh, and adding a lot of pressure to the young John Mel. Let's take another look at this 5-point ride.
Great style on his backhand. Really great bottom turn, and when the lip presents itself, he's just straight up there into the 12 o'clock position.
Which I love.
You love it, mate?
Yeah.
You're right. No worries.
Absolutely. Here we go. John Mel building up some speed down the line. Gets a little snap there. Up and lip. So toning it back a little bit, looking for a completion. Throws the tail, and again. So he's got to get beyond that mental hurdle.
John, I really felt in the beginning of that wave, he slowed it down a little and got some nice turns. Here we go, replay. Slowing it down a little. Getting on the tail there. Nice slash out of the top. That was a great turn. Coming round, gets it up there one more time. But again on the end, I know you've got to finish off good, but maybe just in between just doing a tail, above the tail turn there and an air. I think he was in two minds. And score reflecting that, a 4.03 for that score of John Mel.
Surfing. Saw a little shot of Yuji Nishi, another Japanese competitor coming up next. John Mel moving down the line with some great flow on this wave. Throws the tail for the finish, and that's more like it for John Mel.
Chipping away at it. I saw, see, he's one of those surfers that he slows it down a little bit. He gets even better, as we see Keanu on his right-hander. Bang.
Kamiyama just throws it in the air. Air reverse, no problem. Continues with some great momentum, working his way on the inside. He could really dust this thing off. Let's see if he's got the exclamation mark at the end of this ride. Nice little roundo. Again, super light on his feet in some really difficult gutless conditions. So Kamiyama came to play this morning.
He can feel it.
Here's last of Keanu.
Look at the speed here. Little air reverse. Comes round. This wave looks pretty flat, but still holding rail. on the green face, just setting it up here. Gets another snap, and use the speed he gets out of this little hollow part to come into a nice roundhouse on a wave that I'm not even sure it's legal to call it a wave, but he's still doing roundhouse cutbacks. And look at this. Look at that setup. Wow, that's as good a setup air reversal I've ever seen. Lands it, tail nearly grabs, shifts his weight towards the nose going backwards, and technically that bottom turn was A1.
And it may just heighten the requirement. Here's the last of John Mel for that 5.6.
Getting some speed. Great slash out of the top, gets another one done, and then finally just finishes one with a tail slide. Probably would be in the lead or very close to if he had have taken that approach on some of his earlier waves, Kaipo.
And it has been factoring in a little bit, but it's really about the nerves, I think.
Well, he's up and riding a wave now. Boys, I don't know if you can see this one, but this would look much better standing up. Got a little double up on the inside, kicks out. Don't know, is it 5-3? You've seen enough events?
Yeah, it's gonna. I don't think so. I mean, it's just it's so hard to compete at this level with at such a big event, you know. And I feel for him because I know I've had to do the.
The thing I got out of that interview was it's all a great experience for a young surfer to be out here in a WCT situation.
Here we go, heat leader in Keanu. Kamiyama, nothing going on that wave. Last wave for Kamiyama, just a 3.1. Last wave for John Mel, a 4.43.
Few points that you've written down to get you back into the heat and calm down a little bit is Keanu is just ripping this heat, getting some great turns. I was so impressed by this wave. It wasn't a very good wave, but him making it a score, a tiny little right-hander. So impressed with this young Japanese man surfing, and he's ready. Yeah, it's a big contest, and he's just taking it by the horns. John Mel, a couple of good lefts, getting great speed here and getting some good turns, and he finally gets one finished off. And we've seen him improve all heat, but he's only got 5.5 minutes remaining. Another wave, great slash out of the top, coming round, getting more on the tail of the board and getting another one done, but that wave unfortunately doubling up, and it just gets harder. So great to see the competitiveness of these surfers.
Here we go. John Mel, nice opening snap. Looking down the line for more floats through that section. Gets through a carve. Banks on the inside. Put all his effort into that wave. Keanu right behind him, showing that backhand whip that he's been utilizing throughout this heat. Keanu's going to kick out early, thinking that he's going to maintain the lead, and Keanu's going to paddle back out furiously to the lineup.
I swear Keanu Kamiyama has watched Taj Burrow videos since he was the early age of about 2, because he looks like a 12 to 13-year-old Taj Burrow right now. He's just surfing really well, right off the tail of the board, coming around with a great snap there. Look at this bit here. That is just Taj Burrow at an early age by so far, it's ridiculous. Needing a 5.94, and here we go, having a look. Second priority.
Here we go, John Mel throws it, air reverse, comes out of it, wants to make sure he rides in front of that whitewater to show completion on that wave.
Or here we go again. Nice drive, but yeah, that wave was never going to be the score.
Our beach commentator count this down, and it is official. Keanu Kamiyama, our Japanese competitor, moves on to round number 3. John Mel eliminated from competition, 2 blue jerseys, 2 heats in a row. Moving on to round number 3 here at the Jeep World Junior Championship. And we will be back